Hey, welcome to this tutorial on Substance Modeler, so 3D Modeler. So there's a few new updates that have come out for it recently, and it's a program that I've kept my eye on for some time now, and I thought I'd do a video on it because I think it's sort of getting to the stage now where I feel like as an artist we should be showing it more consideration for where it fits in a pipeline. It's got some interesting features and sort of the modeling approach in here as well. It sort of escapes the polygon modeling as it's a voxel, get my words out, a voxel based system. So you can escape the polygon modeling and stuff. So let's just jump in and have a little look at what its features are and introduce you to some of the modeling concepts in here. So again, no different to anything that you haven't seen before, presumably. You file, save, edit and stuff. And on the left hand side we have this menu, the select tool menu it's currently on. But what you can do is, you can go into clay and you'll get this little shape that pops on. Now, none of these are actually in the scene, so I can click any of these, and at the moment they're not in the scene. Let's just reset that as well. So nothing's in the scene yet. It's just showing you an example of what you can place in that scene. So again, if I go to select, nothing's in here, and you can see via my outliner, nothing's actually in that populated in the scene. So with this, what I can do is, I can change the shape of this, I can scale it, I can, taper the edges, can even round corners, we can give it, fillets, chamfers, change this, change the thickness and stuff, and create these unique shapes and then add them to the scene. So you can see here, I can apply these and it sort of remembers and stuff what's being added and things like that. At the moment, all these are on the same clay layer, so they're all as one tool. You can actually apply them as separate individual pieces. So if we wanted to add these to the scene, let's jump in again. Just make sure we've not selected the clay 3, and what you can do is just apply that, and then if we go to select there, you'll see that we've got individual set piece here, and you can move that about and stuff. One of the interesting things is you can cut things out in here as well. So if we grab the cut tool, I've selected this, and you see here where it keeps the same cut. I've got clay tool 4 selected, and if you apply that, it's going to attempt to cut it based upon that shape that you created as well. So it's pretty fast, it's pretty intuitive, and yeah, it's quite good. I'm just going to delete these, and we'll have a look at actually some sculpted features and stuff in a second. So I mean, yeah, it's an interesting tool, and we can do a bit more than just create cuts. There's a few other things in here as well. So you've got your raise, the clay tools, which we just looked at. You've got the warp, and again you can push and pull the mesh about, and there's some sculpting tools as well. Along the bottom, let's just see, you've got here we can create new primitives. Okay, so what a new primitive does is it adds it into the modeling stack. All right, just switch off my sound there. It adds it into the outliner, should I say, not modeling stack, as a container. In the container objects, actually, you get additional options for cut settings and things like that. So say for example here we've got this shape, and we want to do some bits and pieces. We can scale that out. I'm just going to check here, can we use symmetry? Let's have a look. Repetition, it needs to be in clay mode for the symmetry. So let's just bring this shape out here. So we've got a shape. Let's change the corners, so make those corners a little bit more rounded. Do we want to fillet those edges? Not fillet, maybe give them a bit of a chamfer. So let's just have a look at that for now, and I think that's going to be okay. We'll thicken that up a little bit, maybe reduce the chamfers a little bit there. Just have some sort of toony sort of joypad or something, to controller. Okay, so we've got something like that. That's fine. And that primitive is now in the scene, okay, and it's contained within the primitive container here. So what we can now do is we can create some unique cuts and stuff to actually interact with this. So let's have a look. Let's create another cube here. And if you look at this now, what it actually does is it's combining, you know, these meshes together. So if you have a look here on this, it's actually combining these edges together in sort of real time. So, you know, you can move these about, you can change these cut settings as well. So if you look at this, you know, I can move this around and it's going to update that. And you've also got options as well for sort of blend modes as well. So this is quite interesting. So you can see here where I can up the blend level. Yeah, so let's just bring this back and you'll get a better example here. So you can see there where I'm actually upping that blend level in between the shape, which is, I mean, that's really good. There's different options as well. So you've got a chamfer as well, so we can add that in. Now, again, I'm not sure of too many softwares that allow you to do that in sort of real time. And again, you know, you can up the resolution of these as well, so you can give it a little bit more of a smoother looking edge there. And yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I know ZBrush has got some powerful sort of tools that you can use, and you know, yeah, there's different sort of features in there. But yeah, I mean, there's not too many softwares that allow you to control that edge blend in that way. Maybe there's some plugins for Blender or something like that you could use. And you can sort of see here where we're getting that shape and it's sort of snapping in place. So it's incredibly powerful stuff. So let's just, we'll reduce that blend mode, and what we can do is just maybe get this into a position. And yeah, let's just scale this down, and you know, we'll grab this section here. Maybe this is going to be where the start button's gonna be, and we'll set this to cut and bring this in. And then what we can do is you know, we can round those corners, okay, and then we can just we'll make this a little bit thinner. Try and keep it quite, I want to keep it quite toony if I can. So, you know, just get this and eyeball it into place. And then, yeah, let's use that blend mode a little bit there. Still in chamfer, maybe smooth would do. I don't know, let's have a look. Yeah, we'll chamfer that, I think. Let's bring a chamfer in. We can just reduce that. There we go. So we've got a nice sort of blend mode there. We can round those edges a little bit more as well, and just create a nice sort of yeah, nice little edge there. And then what we can do is, you know, we're going to want to create a similar primitive there. So if we should be able to create another cube, okay, and we can add in here. So oops, let's just go back a second. I'm just going to deselect this one because I want this one to be its own sort of primitive. So you can see here where I can have multiple stacks of these primitive containers. And what I can do now is just align this up, you know, best that I can. I'm actually using a graphics tablet as well. I mean, my graphics tablet's Asian, but that's what I'm using that. I find it a little bit more intuitive with the software because, you know, even though it's voxel modeling, it feels a little bit more like a sculpting program. So here we go, we've got our button in place. Let's just up the resolution on that a little bit as well. And what we can do is chamfer those edges. So let's just grab that chamfer and we'll bring that in. I'm just gonna push these edges up a little bit more. Okay, cool. And then what we'll do is we'll add another cube there. We'll just scale this right down. Bring it in between like so, and then probably want it a bit, probably gonna want that a little bit thinner, something like that. I'm just gonna grab this cube as well because I've realized I've not scaled it underneath. So there we go. Let's grab this one again, and yeah, we'll just scale it down. You can sort of see it updating and stuff. And okay, so we're roughly where I want it to be. Let's just grab and just align that up. I think that's okay. So that's fine. And what we'll do is we're going to grab that primitive again. We're going to cut that shape out. Okay. And again, you know, you can try different blend modes here with this. So we can get that on the corner. We can continue that, you know, that sort of that chamfer, if you like. Scale that a little bit. Let's just go around to this side, and again, so we've got two buttons there now. So let's just have a little nosy at that for our controller. Okay, that's pretty cool. And it's took us, yeah, you know, I mean, maybe I'm being a bit overcautious with it, but you know, that's not took a long time at all. Now, the really good things here is if you feel like these are too big, you know, you've set these too big, nothing's locked in place with it. All right, so I can scale this, I can move it down, and I can bring it in. I can then jump back into my original primitive shape, and I can sort of scale, and I can move, and I can get that back into shape as well. And you can sort of see there where, you know, you're creating this really nice sort of intuitive, free-flowing update, and it's pretty cool. One of the things that we can do as well is, you know, we can reuse this mesh here. So let's just use Control D, and I'm actually going to just, if I can find it, adjust the thickness, all right, of this shape. Okay, and what we want to do is scale it so you can see the thickness now there. Yeah, it's going to attempt to combine it depending on what you've got set here. So we've got combine at the moment. We can cut that, okay, out of here, and then what we can do is I'm just going to grab the top section and just scale this down, scale it into place like that, and then let's just push this across so we can see here. Let's have a little nosy, and then we can just grab, oops, I think I grabbed the wrong section there, so let's just grab that again. We change that thickness a little bit, and what we're going to create is sort of a line for it. So let's just bring that in there, and we'll do the same for this side. So I'll just grab that and bring it in ever so slightly, and then we can just adjust that thickness a little bit for it. Just bring that up, and then we've got that nice sort of, you know, I suppose that seam that you'd see on you know, plastics and joy pads and things. And then, you know, at the back here we're going to want to add a cylinder as well. So let's go ahead. We've got the container selected. Let's grab a cylinder for the back, and the reason I say add that, we'll add a little section where the you know, the plug goes and stuff. So if we just scale this, I'm going to hold shift just to keep that, and what we'll do is let's find that scale. There we go, uniform scale. So let's just scale that down. I'm going to just push that into place. So you're going to want it, come on, there we go, just pushed in. And we'll give it a bit more of a scale there, and just roughly in the middle. I'm just going to eyeball this best that I can. Let's use a cut, and I've just realised I've done this in the wrong one. Let's just transfer that into here. We'll just take a little bit of a nosy. Let's put that down there. There we go. So again, these are affected by the sort of layer stack as well, so depending where they are. So let's use that chamfer, and we'll just up that sort of blend mode there. Again, just decrease that. Probably need to just adjust this so it doesn't affect. There we go. And then push that in, and then we've got a nice little sort of yeah, where the wire would be, and it, you know, it'd come out and stuff like that. So okay, cool. It's sort of taking shape, and again, you know, this is quite basic in terms of modeling and stuff. You know, it is really fun to sort of use. So other things we can do as well is we can combine shapes together as well. So let's have a look at creating a little, I suppose, a D-pad on this side. And I'm trying to keep it quite toony, you know. I want to keep it quite fun and stuff. So we'll see if we can add in sort of a fun D-pad here as well. So let's just create a new set of primitives here, and what we'll do is this should go into its own container again. All right. In actual fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first create the cut for this one. So let's just see that one there. So we'll create this cut, and I'm just going to scale this in here like so. Let's just scale that. We've got a nice resolution as well in here. So yeah, those cuts it should be quite clean and tidy, so it should be all right. So we get something like that. That's still a bit thick, so let's just scale that down and just move this into place. So this is going to be the cut where what the D-pad sits into, like sort of the inset. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Let's use the C button there. Sorry, the cut button. Not C but button. I don't know the shortcut, so the carve in here it's called carve, not cut. So we've got that. Let's use Control D to duplicate, and we'll hold Shift and bring that round. So that's pretty good. I think let's just have a look. I think I can actually apply a chamfer as well to the edges of these. Let's just have a look. So it doesn't like the chamfer as such being applied all around it. You know, getting a bit of an issue there in the middle. I suppose I can live with that because we're not going to see that anyway underneath. But yeah, we've got a nice little chamfer there, so it's blended quite well, I believe. So that's pretty good. What we'll do now is we'll add in another box here. Okay, so as its own container, and this way we should be able to sort of align this up. So we're going to want it about here. Let's just drag that down, bring it in, you know, again, just eyeball this the best that I can. And all I'm doing is just clicking and pulling these points just to get them into a nice sort of position. Obviously, that's quite large there. And then what we can do is we'll round. Do we want to round the edges? I didn't round these ones, so I'm guessing not. What I'll do is I'll just chamfer them instead. So we'll give them a little bit of a chamfer. Let's just have a look. Probably have to up that sub level again a little bit just so we can see that chamfer a bit clearly. Use Control D to duplicate and just hold Shift, and it should combine pretty nice. There we go. We've got a nice combination there. Just align that up, and we've got a nice little D-pad cut in, quite stylized, you know, quite funny. And what we want to do is probably put some indicative information in here as well. So let's just grab firstly, let's grab another shape. So let's do, I think a prism might be good. Would this one be any good? Maybe not. Maybe do a cube again, and we should be able to, let's have a look, taper that. Maybe something like this. And can we rotate? Yeah, 90. Just thinking, I wanted to grab. So I wanted it to be. Yeah, I think I want to maybe add sort of an arrow or something in there, like a sort of an indication of an arrow. So we've got this one. Let's maybe try this one, perhaps. I think this is probably the best bet. So we've got this shape now. Let's have a look. Oops, just going to use Shift again, snap that 45 degrees. Let's grab that there. And then we should be able to just, you know, get this into a decent sort of position here. And again, it's probably going to need, scaling a little bit more. So you can see what's happening here now. The prism, they've all got different like sort of scales that you can do. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe here, so I could pull that side if I wanted to and stuff, but I reckon that's going to be okay. I can't see any sort of issues with that. So again, just needs scaling that a little bit more and change it to a cut. So just grab this here, bring it up ever so slightly. Should we have it? Maybe we have it. Yeah, maybe we have it like that. Maybe where it just blends in. I'll go for the cut. Maybe go for the cut. But again, you can see here where you can sort of change your mind with it. So let's use Shift D there to duplicate that. Bring it down. Let's bring that here. So I need to rotate this one now. So again, do that. Oops, come on. There we go. 180, and we can just bring that into place. Control D, not Shift D. Get my buttons mixed up. So again, let's just grab this one, bring it into place, and then we'll just do the same again here. Holding Shift. I am holding Shift to snap those in place. So we've got a nice set of features there, and then what we can do is, I think in the middle, there's usually like I suppose it's going to be like a cylinder bit. I suppose it's for grip or something like that. So we can just grab this again. Let's scale that down uniformly. Bring it in. Put it into the position that we want. So we're going to interacting there, or intersecting, should I say, not interacting. And we'll set that to cut. And yeah, we've got a nice sort of shape. Whoops, rotating that. I want to grab that one. Got a nice shape there. And then, you know, we've got a bunch of different shapes here. You know, and again, sort of up the resolution there, make those cuts nice and sharp. And yeah, I mean, with this, you know, maybe we want to chamfer that edge a little bit as well, so you can see where the chamfer is sort of coming out, so you can do, you know, quite interesting sort of features with it. Maybe we want to just scale that a little bit more. Let's get that scaled a little bit more because of the chamfer. And then we've got like a nice sort of shape quite quickly in there. So yeah, I mean, it's shaping up. You know, we're creating a sort of a nice sort of controller. It's quite quick, and you know, you can add your different button sections in here and whatever else you want to add. I feel like that's a little bit small in compared to this section. So again, one of the benefits is, you know, we can come in and we can just keep things a bit more consistent. So this is looking a little bit too large. So again, even though I've made sort of changes to this on the fly, I can still come in here and I can still update, you know, all of these points and sort of the edges that are on here, and you know, we can sort of scale these if we want to and tweak them. Yeah, we can sort of tweak them. So again, let's just jump in, let's grab that primitive shape, let's make it look a bit more unique. Come back into this one. We want the shape here, which is gonna be that one. And again, you know, we can just grab them and move them in and have a little nose there. So we need to grab the object here and just place it in. And what you can do once these are in place as well, you can move them together as well. So you know, you don't have to go in and move them individually. You can actually move all the cuts together. So it's quite good in that respect. So let's just put a couple of buttons in here. So with the buttons, I'll jump back into the primitive. So, you know, this one's going to be primitive 1. This is the main base. And what we can do is, you know, we can add that cylinder. We can just bring in a sort of a button section here. Let's zoom out a little bit. And you know, we'll scale this. Let's bring it roughly into position that we want. So we're going to want it about maybe here. Let's just get that, and what we'll do is fill that in. I've just realised that it's in the wrong container. We want it in this one. So I'm just going to drag and move that. There we go. And we'll set it to be cut. And we can just scale this and just put it in to, whoops, about here. Give that a chamfer. So we've got like a nice sort of button sort of edge to it. Just gonna sort of estimate, like, you know, guesstimate I suppose, and line it up. So just duplicate here. I think I'll push, whoops, I'll push this one up maybe a bit more. Have it about here. And all I'm doing is I'm just duplicating these across. So, you know, grab that one and just maybe, let's just hold shift and just move these. Whoops. So what I'm going to do is just select each of these and just move them across ever so slightly. Grab that one, bring it in a bit more. Grab it again, Control D, a bit more. And again, you know, if I'm not happy with this one underneath, what we can do is I can just come in and I can sort of scale that down, just come back into here, And then what we can do again is just update this on the fly, and I'll just get this looking a bit smaller. Excellent. So we've got a nice shape there sort of taking place. Probably have that a little bit tighter in place. And then what we can do is with each of these shapes here, let's just duplicate, and we will just add them to here. I think let's just have a look. Should have added them. Let's go. So it's added one of them. All right. I suppose it's not done the rest. So let's just add in this one and this one. I thought you could have done it together. So let's just have a look. So let's just see. So I think it's added them in. So all the shapes that I need. Yeah. So what I want to do is select these, and we just select them, and we won't have anything on them. See if it's done the top ones as well. So now it's not got them. So let's just go back into here. So again, I'm just moving these across into the different parts. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we've got one in there. So let's just grab in here. There we go. And again, just have that set to combine, and then we just got one more to do. So I'll just grab this and just move it in. So I think it's that one there. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be that one. So I'll just duplicate that and can move it in and grab it. And oh god, I'm still on that one. Let's have a look. There we go. I can have it like that, and I'm pretty sure I've probably already dragged that in somewhere. So let's just have a look. This button here, I've definitely dragged it in. So we've got that one, this one. It should come in. Let's have a look. And what we'll do is I'll just use one that we've already got. Yeah, so I've got one in there somewhere. And let's just, so that's for the cuts there. So it must be not that one. Got this one. There we go. So we've already got one in there, and then what we can do, we should be able to select each of these now, and we should be able to give them a little bit of a chamfer. We can have a little nose there. Yeah, so it's chamfered then. And then just come out here, and again you can sort of see, sort of getting a decent look with that. You can push these down a little bit if we wanted to now. You can see you got that nice sort of beveled sort of, well, that edge that we wanted to go to. And then yeah, there's more features you can add. So again, maybe perhaps we want to connect these buttons a little bit. So again, we could select this area here. Let's add a sort of cylinder, bring it into here. Let's just scale that best that we can. We're going to change it to cut. And then we're just going to change the thickness. Should be on the right one. I think I've probably created a new piece there. So let's just have a look. So go back in, select that. Let's add a cylinder. There we go. Should be cut. Nope, it's still creating it in the. It's still creating it in the original one here. So it's creating a new one instead of doing it in the base one. So there we go. So I've selected that. So you can see here where it cuts out now. Yeah, so grab my cylinder wherever it's gone. There we go. Again, different things that you can do. Let's just scale that best that we can. And what we could do is change the thickness of this. A nice thickness there. And you could create something, something that connects these buttons sort of together. something like that. Just reduce that thickness a little bit. Move that sort of scale there. Push that into place. And yeah, you know, creating some really intricate sort of shapes. So I appreciate the video's getting a little bit long now, so I think we'll wrap it up here. But hopefully, you know, it's give you a good insight to some of the tools and modeling approaches inside of Substance Modeler, and yeah, maybe you'll consider it in your workflow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and you know where you see, if you see this as a useful tool, is it going to be effective? There are some additional features. Obviously I haven't covered everything in here. I've just got to grips with the basics in the video, so please let me know if there are anything that you've used in here, or if you've used it professionally, you know, as a product within your pipelines. It'd be interesting to see where this is gonna go and how it's going to develop. As always, please give me a like, a follow, you know, subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the comments or the next video. Bye bye for now.